Hey guys, welcome back, and welcome to NUR 4125 Demonstration 2. So this is of course on top of your, in addition to your other e-tutoring activities and sessions, as well as for these we kind of focus specifically on one topic, rather than a bunch of them, and it's more in-depth, less broad. So for this one, it'll be eustress versus distress, which I previously mentioned in the other video. This is your good stress versus your bad stress. So I found these, and yes, I'll probably include little snippets from Google every time, because they're pretty cute and they go over the material fairly well. So, as the first one says, your eustress is the positive stressors that allows for personal growth and satisfaction. Getting married, starting school, beginning a job, making new friends, or learning a skill. Now, not only does this allow for personal growth and satisfaction, but this also allows for you to adapt and focus more on those things, better yourself, and remain with that homeostatic environment. Now remember, I mentioned homeostasis prior. This is your internal environment, so this includes your organs, your bones, as well as your fluids and your hormones. Your hormones must be kept within a proper balance, otherwise when they get out of balance, things kind of go a little wacky. And it leads to a bunch of other things, but that's what we typically get from distress. So, distress, as it says here, is the negative stress that's caused by events that cause stress and strain. Financial problems, death of a loved one, academic difficulties, or breakup of a relationship. Now, notice they did say stress twice. But they got their point across. Another is, eustress is a positive response to a stressor that is healthy or fulfilling. Distress is a negative response that is unhealthy and unable to adapt to a stressful event. For distress, you're not really focusing on anything. It's more that you can't focus. You're focusing so much on that stress without figuring out a way to get rid of it, make it better, adapt. And it has a few examples, actually, of positive personal stressors and negative personal stressors. I know most of you guys probably can't see that, but I'll read it for you. So, your positive personal stressors include starting a new job voluntarily, receiving a promotion or raise at work. Now, the reason why this is a positive personal stressor is because, yes, you're going to have an increased workload. However, this is going to affect your life in a positive way. More money, you have a higher position typically, more respect and more admiration at times. Then you have going on a holiday or a vacation. So yeah, it can be a little stressful to plan out holidays or vacations, but in the end it's fun, relaxing, and etc., etc. You have moving into a new home, a new area, a new life, new opportunities, learning something new. So yes, we're not always going to be the best at something the first time we start it. That's not how things work. Practice makes something perfect. Then you have retiring. So retiring, you no longer work, you no longer have any obligations to a job or anything like that. In the past, you had your 401k, you had your pension, and you could live off of the money you had made and saved prior to everything else. Then you have buying a new home. Stressful a bit on your finances, maybe on your family, and moving to a different area, but hey, new, better home. And then having a child. Oh, having a child can be so stressful. Because first the woman has to go through pregnancy. Then you have to go through preparing everything for the baby to come in. Then you have to prepare for the baby to arrive home, prepare for the baby to grow up, buy all these new things and toys and everything else, bring them to school, have an education, teach them, comfort them, help them through the troubling times, and you can tell this can go on for a while. So now we have your negative personal stress. So you have death of a significant person. Now, they're not saying a loved one specifically, because a significant person doesn't have to be someone like your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, so on. It can be your sister, your parent, it can be a best friend, it can be a teacher. Financial challenges, as I mentioned previously. But instead of learning from those finances or learning how to save or what to truly spend money on, what's important, you just get stressed and fall down a financial hole. Major personal injury or illness. Unemployment. Much stress caused by that. Legal problems. That's a can of worms to open up. Being abused or neglected. Another can of worms. Change in health or behavior of a family member. Now that's something that's not often talked about. They often think about how your behavior, your temperament will affect others, not really how theirs will affect you. So, say your family member is bipolar. They're going to have their ups, their downs, and go through it possibly sporadically, possibly in a pattern. We don't know. It depends on each person. So, of course, that can have to do with an effect on you. Why are you being yelled at all the time? And then, of course, they're happy, they want to be forgiven, or they act like nothing happened at all, and it's just a roller coaster with that family member. And finally, you have being fired at work. Honestly, that unemployment should kind of be up there, but you can be unemployed without being fired. That is a sad truth. So then, for de-stress, from how we had put it in our handout, is a form of bad stress. It's debilitating, and it goes from your acute stress to your chronic stress. Eustress is a good form of stress meant to keep everyone on their toes, allowing for them to focus, meant to be acute and helpful for adaptation, and a way for your body to remember the situation. Now, after we've talked about all of these things about eustress and distress, and previously about your post-traumatic stress, we'll talk about the treatments for this stress. There are different ways that people relax and de-stress in many different methods, but these are the ones mainly spoken about in your book. So you have relaxation. Now, I know that sounds very simple, very plain, but what they are trying to put across with that is evoking that relaxation on command. So you're stressed, then you take a moment, breathe, evoke that relaxation response, and you dissipate that stress. Then you have imagery. So this is your guided imagery or your visualization. You'll often hear this in meditation or imagery groups where they'll tell you to go down a long corridor, find your door, open it, and you'll go through another door, and another door, find your spirit animal, be in a mountain, your happy place, so on. Then you have music therapy. So, something calming in terms of music might be to you, but not to another. So, say you are calmed by classical music, Beethoven, Bach. However, I'm calmed by punk rock and things that have a lot of guitar riff, growling, some profanity, and that's calming to me. You may find it stressing or hurting your ears. I've heard a lot of that. But also, if a music therapist is creating your musical playlist, essentially, they will center it around you, your preference, and your experiences, what can cause your stress. Then we have your biofeedback. So your biofeedback is the person learns to control their physiological functioning. This is kind of the theory behind heart math, and I believe most of you have heard of it by now. Professor Surega does it at the beginning of every class, and a lot of the other professors are starting to become perpetrators of that trend. And a lot are being certified in heart math. So the idea behind that is you can control your physiological systems. That's why they'll say, alright, we want you to take a deep breath in, hold, deep breath out, hold, and focus upon your heart. Others will say, now focus on this happy image, this happy feeling, an emotion, a memory. And now we want you to focus on your heart. Focus on the beat, try to control it, slow it down if you are stressed. And we want you to give off these positive energy waves to your classmates and blah blah blah. You know how that goes. Of course, that heart math can be different for each session or depending on whom is leading it. Now, we have your adaptive capability. So this is how you react to this eustress, distress, or stress in general. This capability or ability to adapt is affected by your nutrition. So, if you're eating well, if you're eating badly, how much you're eating, how often you're eating. Your age. We all know that the younger you are, the more resilient you are. You could spend a whole week doing all-nighters as a teenager, but try to do that when you're in your 40s and 50s, and you may not bounce back. Then you have hardiness, and you have your genetics. So your genetics can play a key role in how you are adapting or reacting to stress. Because maybe you don't produce as much cortisol, maybe you produce more cortisol, maybe you produce more epinephrine, norepinephrine, adrenaline. You get the gist with hormones. And then you have your psychosocial factors. So this can be your support system, your family members, your friends, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, and however others, as well as your interactions with them. So maybe you have an argument with said person every day. That's going to be stressing you. Maybe the other is a completely comforting and loving support system. You never fight. They always know just how to help you, and a bunch of other things are very rare. So then we have a sleep-wake cycle. So how often do you sleep? How often are you awake? Is your sleep restful? Do you get to REM? Do you sleep an hour a night, and then you're just up until the next night, an hour a night, and so on, bringing your body into more stress due to lack of sleep, possible insomnia. You have your physiologic reserve, so the reserve of your chemicals, enzymes, and hormones within your body. You may have a larger reserve than others, or a smaller reserve, so it will be used up faster or not as quickly. And then finally we have the rapidity with which the adaptation must occur. So how fast must you adapt to the situation or the stressor? And we'll see if you can adapt in that time or perhaps not. Okay, so that concludes the end of our video on eustress versus distress. I hope you guys found that helpful, and I hope to see you guys again. See ya!